Greetings all, Peter Skov for Music is a Journey. I am doing 3 videos tonight, and each video is a topic that has 5 parts, 5 subjects, 5 things to talk about. The first video I did was 5 concerts I'd been to that I thought were really memorable for some reason or another. The second one was 5 purchases, my second purchase of a band's catalog way back when in 1983, which was when I was 12, which is also a tag or a thread put out by MGK Boston, who wants you to name 5 albums you bought when you were 12 or 13. So here is the third in the set of 3, and I just thought I would talk about 5 recent albums that have come through the door. So first up we have Danko Jones' Wildcat from 2017. Danko Jones is someone I've just recently started to listen to. He is essentially a simple, straightforward, hard rock band with an attitude. Great riffs, short songs, really punchy. His vocal delivery just has so much expression and feel to it. He just sounds like the tough, cool guy in school. He started out in the garage punk scene in the 1990s, and then once he signed to a label and the band started going, they switched over to more of a hard rock thing, but keeping that kind of punk attitude. Interestingly, I don't remember what song it is here now. It might have been You Are My Woman, I think, the 4th track. It really sounds like Thin Lizzy. Holy crap. The guitar riffs, the guitar solo, and especially Danko Jones's way of singing sounds like Phil Lynott. Lynott, whatever. Phil, that guy, really sounds like him. Rest of the album is just all the way through, straight up, really punchy, hard rock, great riffs. This is stuff to just go see live. You go to a Danko Jones concert. I think in a documentary I saw, they didn't even want to record anything. They didn't want to do any demos or anything. They just wanted people to go see them perform live back in the early days. But yeah, cool stuff. Next up, so I have been raiding the flea markets and auctions because I can get albums for like super cheap. Some of them are costing me under 100 yen, which means less than $1, to get a hold of an album. So it's just the postage I'm paying for. And one of them I picked up was Treble Charger's 4th album, Detox. I mentioned Treble Charger in a recent video 3-4, The Canadian Curse, because I talked about there were so many Canadian bands I could think of that only ever got 3 or 4 albums out before they broke up. Some of them, of course, got back together later on, and I think Treble Charger are actually active again, but they haven't put out anything since Detox, which is from 2002. Now, they started out, their earliest recordings are more of a power pop band, but they used to be more of a punk type band. So by this stage here, they've become a punk pop punk band. And I really like their music. They've got 2 lead vocalists. One has a little bit more of the rough sounding vocals, and the other one is a bit nasally but clean, but they do really good vocal harmonies together. They have a lot of great melodies, great hooks, and of course that pop punk power guitar, lots of energy, but also great melodies in the lead guitar. So I really liked the other 2 albums I have of theirs, especially the 3rd one, Wide Awake Bored. And I heard the song 100 Million, which is just such a fun video of them live, but it's so wonderfully edited and it's just a very entertaining video. So I was able to get a hold of this for, yeah, I don't know, 150 yen plus postage, something like that. And in very, very nice condition. These people look after their CDs like I do. Like, I get my CDs, I unwrap them, I put them in the computer, I put them back in the case, and I stick them up on the shelf or pile them behind me there because I have no place to put them all. But that's it, right? So there's like no wear and tear on here. There's hardly any markings at all, and it's near perfect condition anyway. So that's really great. I've only listened to it all the way through once, started listening to it again tonight on the way home, just the first couple of tracks. But yeah, that kind of, you know, pop punk, think a little bit like Sum 41 before they started turning metal, you know, like their All Killer No Filler album, just really cool like that. Great guitar sound, great vocals and harmonies, great lead melodies, lovely. And this one here is called Caramel. There's a very angry looking cactus on the front. And the reason why I found out about this was because I watched Grant's Rock Warehouse, an older video they did about 10 months ago, talking about the Canadian hard rock band Coney Hatch, which Coney Hatch put out 3 albums in the 80s and then another one, 4th album in 2014 or something. But after they split up, one of the bass player and one of the 2 lead vocalists, there were a lot of Canadian bands that had 2 lead vocalists, but Andy Curran, he did an album on his own. Actually, I think he got a Juno nomination for it. And then later on, he put together this band Caramel. Now, I think the names of the people are really small, so I'm not going to bother to look up who the other 2 are, but it is 3 dudes. Andy Curran, bass and vocals, someone on guitar, someone on drums. This is 1997, 97, 99, somewhere around there. Can't really see clearly here. Drat. But anyway, this is out on Geffen Records even. Late 90s alternative rock. It's heavy, it's dark. Even the lighter fun parts still have an edge to them. In a way, it's really typical of the 90s sound, but I also felt some songs reminded me of I, Mother Earth. I don't know what else to say. It is a 90s album, so if there's one thing I'm really starting to appreciate from the 90s is just how organic everything feels. Like the electric guitar just really sounds very raw and distorted. The bass guitar, really fat and clunky and buzzy. Drums sound like a real drum kit. It's not like the 80s where they were just, you know, putting everything through all sorts of processing, whatever, I don't know, and coming out with all sorts of reverb and so on. It just got crazy. But by the 90s, they just wanted to go back to that really kind of raw, rough feel. So this album, I don't know if I'm going to say that I love it. So far, it's just, okay, I got it for dirt cheap. I don't remember how much, but it was pretty damn cheap. Probably like 100 yen or something like that, plus postage. And again, in really great condition. So Andy Curran's band here, Caramel, the only one album he did with as Caramel, whatever. Okay, as you kind of may have seen me talking about, you may have seen me talking about Blue Rodeo recently, so I'm really interested in their early albums. I have the first 2, which I think are actually really good at listening to them again. I bought the 3rd one, Casino, which is back here. Really like this one. The 4th one is on the way. 5th one, I got it from the auction, but I think it's a really mellow album. I'm not sure how much I'm going to like it. But I checked this one out. This is The Days in Between. There were some songs I thought that were up my alley, so I bought it for probably, again, something like 100 yen or whatever. Really good condition, a little bit of scuffing on here from handling, and there's a sticker on the back in Japanese that's peeling slightly, but other than that, it's fine, it's good. Bit of a mellow album, but they had another album called Tremolo, which I got, and I don't have it anymore, but I listened to it as well, and that one is just like super mellow. Every track is mellow except the last one. This one here has a couple of more, like they're a country rock, alternative country band, but the thing is with their older stuff, they sometimes are more rock. They really split the country and the rock. And even the mellow country stuff has a beat, has a pulse. A little bit later on, that beat and pulse started to go away. So this album here, a lot of mellow tracks on here, but there are some rock tracks, at least interesting tracks. There's a bit of a 60s psychedelic feel to some of their music here, and that's on here. Now, I watched... is it Northern Reflections channel? He actually did a video about Blue Rodeo because it's his favorite band. He says he really likes this album, but the band, for some reason, don't play anything from this album. I don't know. But anyway, Blue Rodeo, The Days in Between, and the last one, this one just came in through the door yesterday. This is a band called Junk House and Strays. Junk House released 3 albums in the 1990s. They were also from Ontario. Funny reason why I found out about Junk House, I was exchanging comments with one of my regular viewers, the Damnable Reverend, and he wanted to make a comment about Cowboy Junkies because I mentioned them in my video. But instead of Cowboy Junkies, he said Junk House. Then later on he said, sorry, I messed that up. I meant to say Cowboy Junkies. But I thought, hey, who are Junk House? So I checked them out. Interesting album. So this is... some of it is 90s flavored rock. But I feel also, I've only listened to this twice now, but I feel like this would be like one of these obscure albums from maybe 1970 or 71. There is a lot of acoustic guitar. The electric guitar is quite raw in its distortion sound. You've got drums, you've got harmonica, you've got people singing kind of in a soulful, bluesy voice sometimes. Really typical of the early 70s like that. So this almost feels like a band that took a lot of inspiration from obscure albums from the early 70s and then put them in a 90s context. This is from 1994, by the way. So first of 3 albums, Strays, and just really interesting. There are moments where I feel the singer is trying a lot to recapture that 70s sound, and I wonder if it's not being done a little bit too much, but other times I feel it works very well. Some of the songs, when they use the electric guitar in a more psychedelic type of way, like the opening track, Jesus Sang the Blues or Sings the Blues, there's some really cool guitar effects in there. And the way they use the harmonica and some of that soulful bluesy singing in parts, it's really neat. Last couple of tracks I feel are experimental. This is an hour and 10-minute long CD with 16 tracks, and last couple are kind of experimental. But overall, considering that I got this for, I think including postage, it was something like 380 yen. So we're talking about like less than 350 American. Really good deal. Yeah, I like this album. It's all right. I think their third one was the one I would have gotten if I could. But anyway, those are 5 albums that came in through the door. I'll probably do another one of those later. And that is my last of 3 videos for tonight, talking about 5 things. So thank you for watching this one and any of the other ones. See you again in another video sometime soon. Take care all.